to an explosion of personality and raw girl power. It is a celebration of imagination, of color, of texture, of fearless creativity. For this afternoon, ladies, our designers invite you to a world where paper blooms, skies swirl with movement, fires ignite, enchanted forests twinkle. She put that in there to make me say twinkle. All right? Where royal extravagance meets fairy tale fantasy at every turn. Brace yourselves as the runway erupts with attitude, pizzazz, and one-of-a-kind artistry. Our show bursts to life with pure personality power from Lady Reynolds. She struts onto the runway in a flirty pink and white paper dress that practically winks at an entire room. Peony-inspired blooms sweep across the borders with tall white paper rolls and ignite drama and attitude. Every step is playful, fun, and full of bright energy. Lady delivers a perfect Barbie moment, balancing sweetness, style, and confidence. From head to toe, she is a dazzling, unforgettable doll. Next up, bringing the energy of 10 iced coffees and the confidence of Velocity soccer player is Callie West. She burst onto the runway with unstoppable vibrance, glowing in a dress as upbeat and high-powered as she. Her cool color palette, punched up with pops of blue and pink, keeps her look fresh and constantly evoking. A hydrangea-inspired skirt shows her love of bold color, while a playful newspaper top nods to her New York obsession. Bold, bright, and unforgettable, this look is pure Callie. Hold on to your seats, we're turning up the heat. Katrina Thompson storms the runway in a blazing mix of reds and oranges, instantly recalling the iconic fire dress from the Hunger Games. Golden yellow sparks through the palette, makes the ensemble shimmer like a controlled explosion. Her structured top contrasts brilliantly with the ruffled free-flowing skirt, creating dynamic tension. This isn't just a dress. It roars, blazes, and burns with a fierce, unapologetic confidence from the very first step. Excellent. Next up, Grayson Coverly. He glides onto a runway wrapped in black, silver, and white brilliance, channeling the Christian Dior avant-garde energy of the 2025 prototype event. Her dyed bleeding tissue paper shifts from light to dark in a dreamy ombre that feels both effortless and intentional. And just when the dress appears calm, cool, and cute, a bold silver chain arcs across the bodice, linking bursts of creative energy, a nod to Dior's signature heritage and design codes. The result is imaginative, refined, and unmistakably graceful. Stepping straight out of the swirling dream sea, Jillian Van Aspen hands the runway in her Van Gogh-inspired masterpiece. Drawing from the rich textures of Starry Night, she transforms the bodice with bleeding tissue paper into fiery bursts of orange, yellow, and gold that flow into deep blues and teals, vivid, expressive, and unmistakably her. A long flowing skirt with jagged edges mirrors the painting's rhythm, giving the dress an ethereal shimmer. Channeling Van Gogh's bold brushwork, she turns fabric and paper into a living, wearable masterpiece. Entering with enough elegance to make her side jealous, Lenka Redonka. Her blush, pink, white, and green creation is adorned with tiny folded paper bows, each one a witty nod to Marie Antoinette and the French Revolution. This extravagant, over-the-top three-piece ensemble channels the opulence and theatrical flair of the 18th century court fashion, minus the guillotine. complete. Soft fairy lights glow through the design like fireflies, giving Lucia a truly spellbinding presence. Macy Poole looks like she just popped out of Wonderland. Her crisp palette of white, red, and gold sets the stage for the magic ahead. But it's the oversized clock face on the bodice that truly steals the show, giving a bold nod to the ever-rushing White Rabbit. Playing cards complete her top's design, offering a cheeky salute to Queen of Hearts herself. And those roses, these coffee-filtered wonders, are splattered to mimic the Queen's cruise and frantically painting the roses red. Whimsical, eccentric, and delightfully imaginative, Macy looks as if she slipped through the looking glass and returned as Wonderland's newest fashion icon. And closing our show with serene, masterful artistry is Bryn Capiti. Her muted, earthy palette evokes the grounded elegance of raw clay, perfectly complementing her height and graceful presence. A hand-molded bodice lends sculptural strength, while soft flowing arm capes add movement and balance. Accents of moss green ribbon, Bryn's fearless attention to detail shines. Letting the process guide her, she created a design defined by curiosity, evolution, and quiet, confident sophistication. Elegant, refined, feminine, and unforgettable. Thank you for joining us in this whirlwind of color, courage, and imagination. May you leave inspired to create boldly, dream loudly, and walk your own runway with unstoppable confidence. As we close today's show with full hearts and glittering inspiration, remember, when imagination leads the way, the ordinary transforms into the extraordinary. Thank you, ladies.
That's kind of hard to follow up. What beautiful creations, right? Art is good. Hey, speaking of art, we had some, if you're not in the Christmas spirit, you certainly will be. We have candlelight and over 350 musicians and singers. Stand up if you're in it. Oh, yes, we have many. Where do you go? These guys have put in over 3 months of work, so you can go tonight to a free dress rehearsal at 7 p.m. at Macaulay, or you can go Friday night or Saturday night at Macaulay's Chapel. Tickets are still available. We'll send out information if you don't have it. It's at 8 o'clock both nights. In case you have to miss it, it will be live streamed, and we will send you that information, okay? But we want you there, right? In person to see it all. Okay, Saturday, we have 7th and 8th graders from GPS and Macaulay. We are ringing bells at the Walmart at Signal Mountain, right at the bottom, between 11 and 2. So we're going to be doing Red Kettle, Salvation Army. Come by, say hi, do a little Christmas shopping, do a little bit of grocery shopping, whatever, but just say hello. We're going to have fun. So we'll get you in the Christmas spirit. And lastly, we have a special release Christmas video coming out next week on Instagram on Tuesday. Be on the lookout for it. Thanks, guys.
Sophomore Stuco rep.
And I'm Ellie, and I'm one of your freshman Stuco reps.
And we have some exciting news.
Next week is Holiday Spirit Week.
So Monday, show up in your best holiday headwear.
Tuesday, there will be hot cocoa and candy canes on the patio.
And Wednesday, wear your holiday socks. And Health and Wellness Day, which includes yoga all day, and there'll be healthy teas you can take home.
Thursday, you can wear your holiday PJ pants underneath your uniform. And there will be holiday movies playing all day in Caldwell with a popcorn bar.
And Friday is a holiday dress down day, so wear your best ugly sweater. Also, Kim Can my friend Abby Anglis stand up? Today is her last day in America before she goes back home to Australia. We miss you already.
Let's give her a round of applause. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Guests, welcome. We're happy to have you with us today. We don't have any more announcements, so I would like to welcome Lily and Svenja Rose to the stage to introduce their sister and friend and our chapel speaker, Caroline Bernard.
Hi, I'm Lily, Caroline's twin sister.
And I'm Svenja Rose, Caroline's best friend.
I don't really remember life without Caroline. She is my original womb mate, one would say. She has been there for me literally before I could even breathe. Caroline is the most forgiving and loving person I know, and I would not be the same without her.
There really is no way to describe just how grateful I am to have Caroline as my best friend, because she seems to be right by my side whenever I need help, without my asking, and that is something that truly sets her apart from the rest. She is the first person I go to if I need any advice or just someone to listen.
Growing up with Caroline was not always perfect, and as most of you know, Caroline and I share very few similarities. However, being so different from her has only taught me to appreciate her even more. Watching her grow up has been quite an interesting show, from the stage of her life where she would literally sneak away from family gatherings to go read Percy Jackson, to watching her fall in love with rowing. The plot twists have been endless.
Caroline and I have gone through a lot of challenges and debates together, from frustrating classes to understanding our personal behavior and emotion. And here arises one of my favorite qualities of her: her unapologetic ability to clock my tea. She has this innate ability to tell me everything I didn't want to admit I was thinking, and is often the harsh but much needed reality check to my delusions. But do not be fooled, she cares immensely for everyone and everything in her life, her friends or her projects.
And even her stuffed animals, particularly Baby Bunny Rabbit. Some kids have a favorite stuffed animal, but not Caroline. Her heart and soul lived in Baby Bunny Rabbit. I think it might still. So as kids, on multiple occasions, I thought it would be the perfect idea to steal her prized possession out of her hands and run around the house diabolically laughing while she sobbed in our living room until my mom tore it from my grasp, restoring her to mental stability. This story goes to show one of Caroline's most impressive traits, I would think, her ability to put up with me. Throughout our entire lives, no matter what kind of evil scheme I made, she has always forgiven me and loved me the same. She's truly the kindest person I know.
Caroline has truly saved me these past couple years, and I have made so many amazing memories with her and her family. I've already planned weekly catch-up sessions with her for when we go to college on opposite ends of the country, because you better believe I am never let someone as amazing as her go. And though I won't be right there to cheer you on, Caroline, I cannot wait to see the amazing ways you change the world.
Caroline, you are the Starmisha to my Starquisha, the Maddie to my Liv. No one else matches my energy like you do, and there is no one I would rather have grown up with. Sisters by chance and friends by choice, I would choose you to be my friend over and over again.
Now introducing my best friend,
and my twin sister, and your Chapel Talk speaker, Caroline Gayanne Bernard.
Why do people tell stories? Fact and fiction, we just keep putting more and more stories out there. Whether you're talking to a friend or reading a book, you're experiencing somebody else's story. As humans, we're hardwired to do this. But why? Because there are some lessons that you can only learn through living. But sometimes you can internalize a story and learn from that as well. Today, I hope that through hearing one of my stories, you might be able to learn something that took me years to figure out. Walking through our lives, we most often see people on the surface level, but I've come to learn that identity is a much more complex web. Every strand is a different part of who we are. When you walk through the halls and see people, you identify them with probably one strand of what you see them to be. Oh, she's a rower, she's a singer, she's so friendly. These strands are often easy to see, but they can consume someone's identity if they're the only thing paid attention to. The reality is, no person is made of one strand. In my life, some strands have stuck out more, while others have worked behind the scenes, shaping who I am without me even noticing. Before I was even at GPS, I did competitive swimming, and by the time I was in 8th grade, I would completely identify myself as a swimmer. It was the only strand I really cared to pay any attention to, and really that made sense because swimming was a year-round grind. If I was doing another sport or activity, the days I wasn't doing that, there would be swim. After school every day, there would be swim. On holiday breaks, there would be swim, and even on vacation, don't you worry, there was a YMCA where there was more swim. So it's safe to say that I put a lot of my identity into swimming, but it wasn't just about the time or the energy spent. Swim became my community, my safety net. I wasn't just a kid who swam, I was a swimmer, and all of my ideas of who I was were based on swim. And just like that, I'd fallen into this trap that one strand could make up my entire identity. I still did other activities from martial arts to choir, but each other thing didn't feel as important to the web. I was so focused on making one strand, swimming, be the strand that people identified with me that I forgot that the others even existed. I was so consumed by this idea that one needed to be better than anything else that I couldn't pay attention to the others. As middle school went on, I started to feel trapped in swimming. Like, at this point, it was what people expected of me. Now, this was not on the people in my life. After all, it was me who decided I was a swimmer. It was me who would not shut up about how bad practice was or how cold the pool was. I had built this image of myself based on the fact that I was a swimmer, and now I was slowly losing my joy in it. I had always looked up to my mom, who had been a swimmer, even continuing it to the college level. I felt like I would never be able to measure up to that, and I based my identity, my worth off of swimming, and here I was not even very good at it. It was also at this time that I began to experience intense shoulder pain, and this pain was present and unexplained from the winter season of my 8th grade year until about a month into freshman year. You would think that the day when I finally discovered the cause of this pain would have been a joyful one, but no. I was informed that I had a suprascapular nerve impingement, meaning that the repetitive motion of swimming, combined with my somewhat unique shoulder anatomy, had shifted one of my ligaments to pinch one of the nerves in my shoulder. And the only way that I could lessen this pain was to stop swimming. Although this was freeing me from swimming, it was also devastating. As much as this strand of swimming had trapped me, it was also a safety net, ensuring that I had a base community. I had carefully built this version of myself to be a swimmer, and now I had to leave it, at least if I wanted a chance of my shoulder not hurting. Somehow in here, I ended up transitioning into rowing. I had been kind of interested in it for a while, but not really sure if I could do it, and some of my friends were just starting too. Now, right here is where I would like to be able to look at all of you and tell you that I learned a lesson here, that I know that I should not put all of my worth into rowing because experiencing what losing part of myself made me reflect on myself, and that I learned that it's only when we take a step back and look at the whole web that we can see all the strands of who we are. But I cannot tell you that because I basically turned around and swapped rowing in for swimming. Now, I didn't really realize that I had made essentially the same mistake over again until the winter of my sophomore year, which seems like a crazy time jump, but I hadn't felt trapped in rowing until I started to feel like it was something I was failing at. At this time, my shoulder was fully healed, I wasn't very new to the sport anymore, and some other girls who had joined at the same time with me were excelling, and I was falling behind. Like, I wasn't a good enough rower. But it wasn't just that. Because I had put so much of my identity into rowing, when I felt like I was failing at that, it also felt like I was failing at life. And Now is when I was finally able to get to a point where I could reflect and realize that putting all of my worth on one sport was the reason why I felt like a complete failure. It didn't mean that I was one. But there was one thing different this time that helped keep me grounded. While I was swimming, I had also been doing choir. But when I started, I really felt like I was just doing it because my mom made me and I wasn't allowed to quit. So I didn't really see it as a part of me or a part of my identity at all. But by the time I had started rowing, I had really grown to enjoy choir. And I finally could quit if I wanted to, but I didn't want to anymore. This small difference was another strand that I identified with myself, pulling it from the background. Once I was able to branch out, lean into other hobbies and passions, I could more fully enjoy my life and the things that I spent my time on. The biggest thing that I've learned is that not any one of these singular things makes me who I am. They're all individual things that make up the web that is identity. I'm a swimmer, a rower, a teammate, a chorister, a student, a martial artist, a leader, a tea enthusiast, a friend, a book lover, a student, and most importantly, a child of God. All of these things have worked together to shape me into the person who I am. These strands are all interwoven, all working together to weave the tapestry of me. I truly want all of the people who have been a part of my web to know how grateful I am for their support. My friends for always listening to my random tangents, my mom and dad for always being there for me, my coaches and teachers for pushing me to be the best version of myself, and my teammates for always showing up and giving it your best. You all mean the world to me. To my rat, Caroline, I could not have asked for a better rat. And I hope that you never reduce yourself to just one strand of you, because every part of you is wonderful. In this life, we have control over what strands we choose to showcase. It's important to not become reliant on a singular one, but rather to take a step back and look at the bigger picture. Today, I challenge you to take a moment, step back, look at the tapestry that is you. Thank you.